If you have belly fat that refuses to move, even though you're trying to eat healthy, trying to work out, trying to stay disciplined, this video may completely change how you look at fat loss. Because your problem is probably not laziness, and it may not even be that you're eating too much. The real problem, you are probably doing a lot of healthy things at the wrong time. And that matters way more than people realize. Because your metabolism is not just controlled by what you eat, it's controlled by when your body is prepared to use it. And this is where keto and intermittent fasting quietly destroy a lot of people. Not always immediately. Sometimes at first they even work, but long term, they create the exact cycle that keeps people stuck. You skip breakfast, you run on caffeine and then undereat all day, train exhausted, crave everything at night, which leads you to overeat later in the day. Then you wake up bloated and the cycle repeats itself. And then that leads you to think, I just need more discipline. No, your structure is biologically backwards. In this video, I'm going to show you why belly fat gets stuck, why fasting and keto often backfire, why your body handles food better earlier in the day, why heavy lifting burns more fat than endless cardio, and most importantly, how to make fat loss happen on autopilot without starving yourself. And the craziest part, the 245 people that I've helped implement what I'm about to show you on this video started seeing waistline changes within days. Not months, not years, days. Like them, most people think belly fat is all about calories. But in reality, belly fat is mainly tied to stress, meal timing, insulin sensitivity, sleep, inflammation, muscle mass, and most importantly, your circadian rhythm. And visceral belly fat, the dangerous fat around your organs, is highly metabolically active, meaning it responds fast when your body's environment improves. This is why some people suddenly lose inches around their waist after they sleep better, start eating earlier, reduce processed foods, lift weights, and stop late night overeating. Research consistently shows that eating later at night is associated with higher body fat, a larger waist circumference, poorer blood sugar control, and worse insulin sensitivity. But when you flip that and start eating earlier in the day, you'll realize your appetite control improves. Energy, insulin insensitivity, metabolic flexibility, and fat loss outcomes drastically improve. This research led me to develop my 3-2-1 eating method. And if you've seen any of my videos before, I talk about it a lot. But for those who have not seen my videos, 3-2-1 is an acronym for 30%, 20%, 10%. 30% of your daily caloric intake should come at breakfast, and then the other 30% at lunch. That's the 3. 20% should come at dinner. That's the 2. And then the remaining 20% is split up into 2 snacks, 10% at one, 10% at the other. That's the 1 there. 10% goes between your breakfast and lunch, and the other snack goes between your lunch and dinner. We front load your calories earlier in the day because that's when your body uses food more efficiently. Not at 10 p.m. when you're binge watching Netflix. Your metabolism follows a circadian rhythm, meaning your body has biological windows where it handles food better. And most people are eating the majority of their calories outside of those windows. That's the problem. And this is where keto and intermittent fasting starts confusing people, because people will say, well, I lost weight fasting. Sure. Short term, almost anything that reduces caloric intake can produce short-term weight loss. But long term, a lot of people end up creating the exact metabolic pattern that keeps belly fat stuck. Here's what usually happens. You wake up, coffee first, no real food, maybe a protein bar, maybe nothing until lunch. Then you try to survive the rest of the day on caffeine when your cortisol is spiking. And what happens later? Energy crashes, cravings spike, appetite increases, night eating increases, your recovery gets worse, and then your sleep quality and training quality drop. And now we're stuck in a cycle, continuously underfueling when the body wants energy the most, and overeating when the body handles food the worst. That is the exact opposite of how the human metabolism works. Research in structured early eating showed major improvements in appetite regulation, insulin sensitivity, blood pressure, and your metabolic health even without losing weight. Why? Well, because your meal timing changes your physiology. And this is why breakfast matters so much, especially with protein. High protein breakfasts improve satiety, which just means you're not hungry throughout the day, energy stability and cravings, appetite hormones, and completely changes your nighttime eating behavior, meaning structure beats willpower every single day of the week. Again, people think, I need more discipline. No, you need a structure that stops creating biological chaos. And keto creates another problem. Most people that try keto end up under eating carbs, which is obvious. And this especially makes everything worse. Your training, your recovery, and your sleep all take a hit, which ultimately leads to you building less muscle. This causes a major problem because muscle is your metabolic engine. The more muscle you have, the more calories you burn, the better insulin sensitivity becomes. And most importantly, the easier fat loss gets. This is why I'd rather help someone build a stronger metabolism than just temporarily help them see the number on the weight scale go down. And this is where most workout programs completely fail people, because they tell people just burn more calories instead of building a body that uses more calories every single day. This is why heavy lifting matters so much. Resistance training is one of the best ways, if not the best way, to reduce visceral belly fat. Not endless cardio or starving yourself, and no punishment workouts. Research consistently shows that resistance training improves insulin sensitivity, increases your resting metabolic rate, preserves muscle, improves your body's composition, and of course reduces visceral fat. And it's because muscle changes your metabolism. Muscle is expensive tissue. It requires energy, meaning the more muscle you build, the more calories your body naturally uses. This is why two people can weigh exactly the same and look drastically different. One burns way more calories every day. Now, to take fat burning to the next level, you're going to want to combine it with circuit training and EPOC. EPOC stands for excess post oxygen consumption. This means your metabolism stays elevated after the workout. Basically, your body keeps using extra energy even after the training ends, sometimes even up to 10 to 14 hours. It's like revving the car engine, and the heat stays around after you park it. This is exactly why my training philosophy combines heavy lifting with intense circuit training. We do these in the same session, of course doing the heavy lifting first. Heavy lifting tells the body to build and continue to keep muscle, and circuits increase your body's metabolic demand. Together, now your body has a reason to adapt and not just sweat. And this is honestly the mistake that most people make. They confuse hard workouts with progressive workouts. But sweat and exhaustion is not adaptation. Your body changes when you progressively demand more from it. More strength, output, tension, and most importantly, more performance, not just random suffering. Now, can someone lose 20 pounds of body fat in a week? Obviously, no. But can someone dramatically reduce bloating, inflammation, water retention, abdominal distension, cravings, and energy crashes within days? Absolutely, especially visceral belly fat behaviors. That's why people often feel leaner, tighter, less inflamed, less swollen, and more energetic very quickly once meal timing improves. Processed food intake drops, your sleep improves, your movement improves, and workouts become more productive. That's why this can feel like a trick or illegal, because once your body stops fighting you, trying to lose fat stops feeling like constant punishment. So if you feel stuck, stop asking, how do I eat less? And start asking, am I giving my body what it needs at the right time? Because your metabolism is not broken, but your structure might be. And once you align meal timing, circadian rhythm, strength training, recovery, and movement, your body finally has a reason to change. Not temporarily, but sustainably. And that's why heavy lifting, structured eating, and circadian alignment beat keto, intermittent fasting, every day of the week. Now, if your goal is to lose belly fat, improve your energy, build muscle, and actually keep the weight off that you lose, I created a free version of the system I use with my clients and put it in my profile. It's called the 10% Tactic. I'll also put it in the description of this video. And you're going to want to watch this video next. I break down the biggest fat loss mistakes keeping people stuck without them even realizing it. See you on the next one.